Welcome everybody to the PCDC ACC GT3 League. I will be doing your directing and commentary today. My name is Senna Stuffmail, and I also have one of our top drivers here today, Marcus Lawrence, with me.
Hello, hello.
Marcus decided to last moment jump into the box here with me, which should be good because we have a long 1.5 hour race ahead of us. Let's take a look here. Today we are at Suzuka International Racing Course. We're in the Mie Prefecture in Japan. The track features 18 turns, is 5.807 kilometers long or 3.609 miles long. The race format for today is a 110-minute warm-up, which obviously is coming to the close now because our drivers will be getting the driver's briefing in the last 10 minutes. Then on the hour the qualifying should start. We have 15 minutes of qualifying, and then we have a 90-minute race here at Suzuka with one mandatory pit stop. A little bit of a difference with the pit stops for our endurance rounds is that the fuel and the tires are optional. So compared to the sprint races where you have to take tires regardless. Look at the calendar as well for our GT3 League. So today the second round here at Suzuka, 90 minutes once again, and we'll be moving to Barcelona next week for a sprint race, then Kyalami, and then Bathurst, and to round it off we'll have Brands Hatch, which will be another endurance round. Before we head into quali here, we have a little bit of time to run over the championship standings real quick. So in first place we have Marcus Lawrence here. So Marcus, how does it feel to be temporarily in the lead, I guess?
Yeah.
Ready to throw it all away today?
Yeah. That's all for fun.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ruben van den Hudding is in second place, a really good result for him. Last time around, then we have Duploy in third, Layson in fourth, Alvarado in fifth, which is the first silver driver, so a really good job from Alvarado. Then Justin Dijkstra, who just got moved up to Pro-Am/Silver this season, is in sixth, so really good job from him as well. Then Ryan Daniels, then Yergesh, then Katsumi, another one of our newcomers. Then we have Hughes in 10th, Thomas in 11th, and Hawa in 12th. If we move a bit further down, in 13th we got Denesi, then in 14th Taylor, Parnell in 15th, Van Laar in 16th, Rowley in 17th, and then the first AM driver that is in the standings, Thornton in 18th. Then we have Huck in 19th, Venter in 20th, Pettit in 21st, Smith in 22nd, De Knecht in 23rd, Hill in 24th, and we move even further down, Domi Person in 25th, Adabas in 26th, De Boer in 27th, Oberlies in 28th, Vosrek in 29th, and Aronsman in 30th. And then Phillips, Arnsman, Phillips, Wansing, Stempel, Fonseca, Wall, and Smelt all didn't get any points on the board yet. Might be because they had a DNF last race or simply did not compete in last race. So hopefully they can get some points on the board today as well. And then we should be good to head straight into qualifying here. There we go. Move on board here as the cameraman catches up. And since you're here, Marcus, how do you feel about Suzuka? Do you like it as a track?
Yeah. I do love Suzuka. It does take a lot of laps to get really dialed into it. It's not an easy track at all. I think it's the only figure of 8 as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Sure
yeah, and it's going to be going into the night, I believe, as well. It's an evening start and the sunset, so it's a tricky race for sure. 90 minutes, so yeah, just got to get to the end.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see here because we mentioned it before the stream here. Thomas Arensman, probably one of the drivers to be looking to take, well, that should honestly take pole position, but obviously he has a quali ban today, so that's gonna throw a bit of a spoke in his wheels.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if how far he'll be able to get up the field as well. He's one of the pros, and he's going to be starting from the back, so he'll be one to watch.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be interesting here, and seems like I am having a bit of trouble, unfortunately, loading the liveries in, because Liam Anderson here was gonna do a big reveal on his livery, but unfortunately it's not loading in for me, which is a bit of a shame.
He's not going to be happy with you for.
Yeah. We'll see as he slides out there in 130R. We'll see if we can fix that maybe in between quali and the race. So let's. I'm currently following Masichila around here in the Honda, and definitely seems that after last season, everyone's had a bit or enough of the Honda, I should say. You know, we had a lot of Hondas last season, but this season it seems there's only one driver here. Hilo.
Yeah, the Honda's one of those love-hate relationships. It can be great on some tracks, but it takes a lot to get dialed in.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a first time coming in there, Peter Parnell with a 2:02. I'm not quite sure what kind of times are we aiming for here today, Marcus? Do you know?
I believe like maybe a super alien times can get into the high 58s, I think, but maybe 59s or 2 minutes will be really decent.
Yeah. Okay. So more times coming in here. As we see there, Christian Deploy currently has the provisional pole time, which is 2 minutes 0.7, and Justin Dijkstra right behind him. Interesting to hear Jaakko Ikonen, also one of the new drivers, I think, in AM class at the moment. Has put a pretty decent time in with a 201.5. But I'm sure as more of our faster drivers get their times in, I'm sure we'll dip below the 2 minute mark here today. Actually, that being said, Justin Dijkstra is currently about 8/10 up, so, and he is only at the coming out of Spoon, I think, here soon.
Yeah, he's on a flyer at the moment.
Yeah, so coming down the back straight, let's see here if he gets a decent exit. Doesn't look anything special, that exit, but still 8/10 up, so through 130R, then into that big braking zone and the last chicane before the start finish. If he gains anything here. Looking pretty good there, pretty clean chicane. Braking pretty spot on as he heads to the line, and that is gonna be good enough for a provisional pole, I think. There we go, just beats Deploy there with 2 minutes 0 seconds and 6/10 there. So very well done by Dijkstra. Once again, maybe hinting towards, even though you and Vincent aren't racing today, maybe hinting towards us moving him to the pro category, I feel like.
Yeah, Justin's come a long way actually. Even in the PCDC endurance team, he's doing very similar times to us when he gets it together. As he just crashes.
Yeah, just pushing a little bit too hard and then went off track there. But someone else looking pretty alright. I think Shane Thomas at the moment in 6th. He's half a second up on his time. And I don't think Shane was necessarily one of the faster drivers, if I remember correctly from previous seasons, but doing a really decent job here and looking at a really good improvement here. If he does manage to keep this lap together, he might actually move into 3rd place, so that'll be interesting to see. As he's gonna head onto the back straight here, and he's still gaining time. Bit of a bad run out of onto the back straight there. But still looking very decent here. Through 130R in that red and yellow Ferrari. Well, it has all sorts of colors in it, but through the chicane. Oh, that looked like a decent chicane. Lose a bit of time on the exit, and now we'll run to the line, sticking close to the inside. Save as much time to the line as he can, and where will that put him? Yeah, P3 for Shane Thomas there, so very nicely done. 6 minutes left. Robbie Hawa is also running into that last chicane. Also about half a second up. Let's see what he puts in. Oh, still a 201.5. I think he must have invalidated his lap, so that's a bit unfortunate for him. But, ooh, someone to look here. Mats Liam Anderson. Unfortunately not with the amazing livery I made for him. Is heading into the spoon curve here, and he is 1.1 seconds up. So
Wow.
If he keeps this lap together, he's actually gonna move into provisional pole here. 1.2 seconds up. Yeah, this is looking really good. Onto the back straight. Long run down to that chicane. Runs a bit wide there. Hopefully doesn't lose him too much time. Looking a bit early, I think, for the chicane, but gets it hooked up. Ooh, but loses a lot of time out of the chicane there. Only 7/10 up now. And in the meanwhile, as he runs down to the line, let's see where he ends up. But Christian Duploy has now snatched pole position with a 2:0. And Liam, I think, invalidated his lap by running wide on the exit of the spoon curve. That's the game for him. Another person here looking at a quite a drastic increase is Nicolas Alvarado, currently about a second up on his time. Might see him move up into second place here. Again, looking really good here, Nicholas. If he can hook up that last chicane, that is again a possible pole time here. See how he does.
Yeah, I believe the Aston's pretty good here as well at the Suzuka.
Okay, that's good to know.
It used to be one of the fastest cars. As it was 2019 track, it must be as well still.
Ooh, this is gonna be very close here. Let's see. Oh, misses out by less than a 10.
Oh, very close to the 59s we are.
Yeah, 3.5 hundredths there of a second. So very nicely done there from Alvarado, but I'm sure he would have wished that he just got that single tenth somewhere. Would have been fine for that provisional pole, but nevertheless, as it stands, we'll start on the front row.
Donacy's just pops up to 4th as well. It's one of my favourite liveries from PCDC season.
Let's take a look here. Let's see if we can follow him around. Oh yeah, the AOSP cars. I think there's like a bit of a floral design that's integrated in the car. And yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
very different. I like it.
Yeah. It's one of those where you have to like really look up close to see what's actually happening in the livery as well.
Yeah, nice. I like the
Pretty nice.
detail of it.
Yeah. Indeed. If there's anyone further back that might be improving a little bit, Eddie Phillips here running to the line about half a second up. Which I think we'll only see him gain one position. But actually he has invalidated that lap, so no improvement for him. Jordan Wansink here again in the Porsche. Seems to be struggling a little bit. 16th at the moment. And yeah, it's been a good while since he's driven the Porsche. And shows a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I believe Porsche's really hard car to drive personally, but the balance shifts so much from high fuel to low fuel.
Yeah, definitely. Like setup wise, it's a very tricky car to get right, and I mean even driving wise, just the driving style you need to
Yeah, it's
have to
very
manage
different
it. Yeah.
from other cars.
But looking at a good improvement here, 8/10 up. See what he gets as we run across the line with about 30 seconds remaining.
Gonna put him in the top 10.
Yeah, P7
Yes.
there, so very nicely done, 9/10. Maybe we can see him move up the field a little bit on race pace, consistency wise. Another big improvement here, Ruben van den Hudding. Oh, as he spins out at 130R. He was up 8/10, but just pushing a little bit too hard there.
The Denacy's up by 2 temps on his lap as well. Oh, he's just gone off. What a shame. Pushing too hard.
Hawa as well, 7/10 up, moves himself up to 6th place. So again, Hawa and Denacy, two teammates, but usually there's less than a 10th separating them. So they're always running quite closely together, which is good to see.
Domi, 4 temps up.
Yeah, as he runs
29th.
Yeah.
Oh, he gains 1 position.
Yeah.
I believe the Bentley's not strong here as well.
Yeah, I think it's the first time for Domi as well driving the Bentley first season, so he's probably still getting used to the Boatley.
Yeah, but yeah, very close to P1 and 2.
Anthony Hurst there. Ooh, 1/10 improvement. Will not gain anything there. Liam Anderson, 1/10 up as he comes across the line. That's not gonna move him up. Still in 12th there. Then one of the last people out on track, Bastian Erdmann, 25th. Also slight improvement, but not enough to move him up in the standings. Then here we have Camille Stempel. Might see quite a nice improvement here, up to 14th, so very well done. And I think, oh, one more car here, Daniel Owen. He's looking at a decent improvement up into 30th there. So as people might have been able to tell, quite a big grid here today. At the moment, 35 cars ready to line up onto the grid. I'm sure we have had pretty much everyone.
Still hear a car going around.
Yeah, Jesse Smith is one of the last ones on track, I think. But he's not going to gain anything, so remains in 21st position. That being said, that's qualifying over, where Christian Deploy got pole, and we will take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with the full grid rundown and the start of the race of our 90-minute race here at Suzuka. So we will be back in 5. All right, welcome back, everybody. So, my name is still Senastov Mail. We're here at Suzuka for a 1.5-hour endurance race in the GT3 class. As our drivers are on their warm-up lap here, we will be running down the grid here. So let's start it off by saying Christian deploy and first. So got that pole positions very nicely done in the Lexus there. And then one of the more newer drivers as well, Nicolas Alvarado in second. Good job by him. Justin Dijkstra in third. Denacy in fourth with that nice floral type livery. Shane Thomas in fifth, splitting the two AOSP guys. And that means that in sixth is Robbie Hawa. Then we have Jaakko Ikonen in seventh. Jordan Wansink in eighth. Max van Laar in 9th, Ruben van Hudding in 10th, Joshua Layson in 11th, Camille Stempel in 12th, also one of the newer drivers I think. Marek de Boer, also very good qualifying there in the AM class in 13th position overall. Milan Hak in 14th, Anthony Hurst in 15th, Ryan Daniels in 16th, in 17th we have Chris Thornton, and we have Peter Parnell, the Pineapple Bentley. Then we have Jesse Smith in 19th. 20th we have Andrew Harvey. Then we have Lucius Oberlies in 21st. And Pettit in 22nd. Rowley in 23rd. Erdmann in 24th. Lucian Zamfirescu in 25th. Daryl Hill in 26th. 27th we have Daniel Owen. Then we have Domi Person in 28th, who might have actually, as I'm looking down the order, might have actually lost connection here, so...
Yeah, I don't see him on my screen either.
That is a shame for Domi Person. Yeah, 28th will be Miguel Fonseca then. Cristiano Rodriguez Fierro in 29th. Thomas Arnsman in 30th. Masi Chila in 31st. And then that will actually be it, I think. So I think we had a couple of disconnections in between the quali and race session.
Yeah, I think it's 2 cars missing. I think we start with 35.
Yeah,
I believe.
so and Hughes and Liam Anderson. There's the livery we were talking about. So
Hey. And he's in the pits.
yeah, he is in the pits, so
Maybe he forgot to click drive.
yeah, I guess both of these guys did. But nevertheless, we will go back to the front here as the pack is bunching up. And as they come through the chicane, we will be waiting for that green light to come on and get our drivers underway for a 90-minute race here at Suzuka, as we'll be heading into the darkness.
I expect the Lexus will get the jump.
Yeah, should.
I know the Aston does have a bit of turbo lag.
Yep, exactly. The Lexus is very good on power delivery. We wait here for that green light to come on.
Green light.
There we go, green light for round 2 of the PCDC ACC GT3 League as Christian Duploy gets a very good run into turn 1, and I immediately see Denacy challenging for P2 there, and his teammate Hawa right behind him there. Wow, a lot of cars to keep track of. There's a couple of moves being made. Middle of the field, one guard got punted off.
One car off.
Yeah, that was Joshua Layson there that got a bit of a tap, I think, going into the S section. Let's see a bit further down how everything's going there. Milan Hak going side by side with Anthony Hurst, I believe. But they're thinking smarter of it as the Bentley of Daniels is now moving up as well. And ooh, really close there. And Milan Hak actually runs a bit wide there. Is going to try and keep it side by side with Ryan Daniels, but Ryan Daniels gets a better run up to the hairpin. Oh, this is a bit of a timing issue there, but it does seem that Christian Deploy at the front has managed to build a small gap here as the guys behind him are battling for position a little bit. Brian Pettit here in 21st with Harvey right behind him. The Porsche versus the Aston. So Harvey shows his nose on the inside, but decide to go for a move here. For a lot of the drivers, it's just trying to get settled in that rhythm here. Because 90 minutes is a long time, so consistency will be key. Back towards the front here, Nicolas Alvarado had a really good qualifying session, but does seem to be picking up a little bit of a train here. And let's see if we can actually hold on to this position. But Christian Deploy has already managed to gap by about 1.6 seconds, so he's looking really strong today. But just look at that long train on the back on the start.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. And Jordan Wansink here in 7th. I think he already moved up 1 position, so he is looking
a little bit squirmy on exit.
Yeah. As the Porsche kind of trademark Porsche, isn't it? To be squirming all over the track.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Justin Dijkstra as well, off to a really good start here in 5th position. And yeah, is really showing why he needs to be up in that Pro-Am class or the Silver class or even maybe the Pro class after this season. We'll see how he progresses. But yeah, doing really good. And oh, a driver went off there. P16 there, Camille Stempel in the 703 Ferrari. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a replay from that as he's trying to get his car turned around. Again, sorry for the delay, everyone, as we are using custom skins in the league. There's sometimes a bit of delay on the replay, but Camille Stempel here. Let's see.
Did he lose it by himself?
Yeah, we'll see here. Everything.
He might have lost it on the curb on Degnan 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he did. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually.
Oh, he nearly saved it. Oh no.
Yeah,
yeah, it was on the grass.
Not too much damage, I think, but yeah, obviously a lot of time and a lot of positions lost at the start of the race here, because that is the start of the race, everyone close together, and that will see Camille Stempel lose about, I don't know, 15, 20 positions there.
Well, we're 4 minutes into the race. There's still plenty to play for.
Yeah, we still have that long train going down the back straight here. Deploy, who has managed to gap the field a little bit, but then we still have about 20 or so cars in shot there on the start-finish straight. But the Nacy still right behind Alvarado, and it does seem that Hawa, Dijkstra, Thomas, all of them are surely a tiny bit faster because they're all in this kind of train behind Alvarado here. I do wonder if I assume the Nacy and Hawa are always in a radio chat with each other, or in a call with each other to see what's going on, because they're always racing close together, and I assume they might have some team orders going on. Then
yeah, you could expect that.
Yeah.
If the car behind's maybe a little bit quicker, they might swap positions and let the other guy try.
Yeah, exactly. So actually Alvarado there, yeah, not getting the best of runs out of the slow corners, and I mean, he does have 2 Astons behind him, so on top speed it isn't gonna matter much except for the slipstream. A bit further down here, we have Peter Parnell in 15th, also just gotten off to a pretty good start, I think, with Rowley right behind him, and then Harvey, then Hila, and Pettit just a tiny bit behind there. And that is long back straight into 130R. And
well, at the front it's getting quite interesting. P2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
They
this
just
is
side by side.
Yep, again, what I'm talking about here. Alvarado, so very good qualifying performance there, but does seem to be missing a little bit there on race pace as Justin Dijkstra there, trying a little bit of a move up the inside of Hawa, but doesn't quite pull it off. And thinks better of it. Of course, our drivers, I assume most of them will be thinking, you know, I still have more than 80 minutes to go here in this race. I have plenty of time to set up a move here, so you don't need to rush anything in these endurance rounds.
Yeah, Van der Hudding and Wansing are both starting to catch this group now that they're fighting.
Yeah, so we already have Justin Dijkstra there, also on Degna 1 on that same curb where Stempel almost lost the car. Similar there for Justin Dijkstra, but he manages to keep his car together. But he will drop down the order quite a bit here, as he's now side by side with Wansing, sorry, and Wansing will get past.
He's lost two positions.
Wansing there, big slide. As he caught the outside of the hairpin, like the curve on the outside of the hairpin, yeah. And just lost it there. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. That's
I've done the same thing there before, actually.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's a nasty bump.
Yeah, let's take a look back at that. See here, so as he comes out of the hairpin, he's side by side with Dijkstra here. And let's see there. Oh, so it's after that hairpin. Yeah, on the inside, on that long swinging right-hander. Just had a massive bump there and threw the car
a tiny tap on the wall.
Yeah,
I think he's just got away with that.
Yeah, so nothing more than a bit of a scare for Wansing and 2 or 3 lost positions, but I'm sure he'll get back into the groove. And here Andrew Harvey has Joshua Layson now. Layson still recovering from that initial incident. Yeah.
Raz has just spun out on the exit of turn 1.
I can get that up. I'm trouble finding the names here. So many drivers.
Class 8. Just rejoining the track now.
We can get another replay of that one. That seems like there was 2 cars involved with that one, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he just went wide on the exit of turn 1.
Oh, did he?
Or turn 2, I believe.
Yeah, so heading into turn 1 here. Looking pretty clean so far. Oh yeah, just on the exit there. Hit the curb, used a bit too much of the curb there and got his wheels onto the AstroTurf and just spun it by himself. So we got that completely right. Yeah. But nothing more than a couple of lost positions, so...
Layson and Harvey side by side.
Yeah, so before Raz there had his little moment, yeah, Layson trying to recover from that initial incident in the S's, and just putting some serious pace on now.
Yeah, I think he's got the move done.
Yeah, we do not really have, pace-wise, we do not really have a good indicator yet because everyone's so close together, but at the front, for reference, Duploy is doing 201.4. And Alvarado behind him is doing 202.7. So Duploy here having.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know that Suzuka has a very abrasive track surface, and it is a tire killer, this track. So you expect the times to drop off quite rapidly.
Yeah. So so far, looking at that top 10 or so. There is other people running into 201s, so very similar pace to Deploy, but they're all stuck fighting other cars, so Deploy is the one really benefiting from this, as he has managed to gap the cars behind by about 5 to 6 seconds.
Yeah, P2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is where it's at the moment. They're all in a train. Very close together.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think here. Surely, oh, as he quite a poor exit there, and now Nacy is right on the back of him. But yeah, I'm starting to think here that the likes of the Nacy, Hawa, Van den Hudding are all gonna have to try and get past Alvarado here if they... Oh,
Oh, he's
Alvarado
gone
actually
wide
runs
again.
wide. Surely this will be it for the Nacy to get that move done. And Hawa
Can his
trying to
teammate
take
follow?
advantage. Yeah, let's see here, because Alvarado does have quite a poor run, but...
It is Aston versus Aston.
Going into 130R side by side, this can't end well. Oh, Hawa a bit wide there. Hits the grass, but nothing too serious as he rejoins. That's very well held together, but we'll see him lose a couple positions there. But the
Yeah, it's not
Nacy
the
is
end of the
now
world, that one.
unleashed. No, that wasn't too bad. He's still in that fight, but the Nacy is now unleashed and has immediately gapped Alvarado there. Alvarado now under fire by Ruben van den Hudding as well. Let's see, Van den Hudding trying up into T1, showing his nose, but not too much. I think some of the more experienced guys here are seeing that Alvarado is suffering a bit under pressure. And they're just trying to make him crack. But that is something they will need to do if they want to get a move on and not let Christian deploy absolutely run away with the race.
Yeah, it's important to get that move done early.
Sorry, but the Nacy there actually lost it before Degna won there. Got a little slap of oversteer and is now back behind Ruben van den Hudding. So
all that work has gone to waste.
Yeah, just pushing a little bit too hard. Maybe maybe not quite used to the feel of being in clean air. And just, yeah, pushing a little bit too hard there, but
Sure. Yeah, when you're following a car, sometimes you get so fixated on the car in front. When you actually get in clean air, you forget how to take the track.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, people rarely think of GT3s as high downforce cars, but this day and age, I think they're getting pretty close with all the aero they have these days.
Yeah, there's definitely some aero loss from following.
Yeah, like the cars, let's say 5 to 10 years ago, they weren't that heavy on aero. Oh, Ruben van den Hudding completely loses it in 130R.
Oh no.
And knocks against the outside barrier. It didn't look too bad as he slowed down quite a bit before, but yeah.
I think he did tap his nose, but it doesn't look too bad damage-wise.
Yeah, and it is, I don't know, 130R is such a curious corner to me, because personally I've never had much issues with taking it, but I guess I've never driven it with a mid-engine car, so that might be the difference there for me. But yeah, we see plenty of accidents happen at 130R. It's just what it usually takes is just a small tap on one of the curbs, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, most of these incidents are just driver errors and Suzuka biting back.
Yeah, Oberlies here and Daniel Owen, I think, were side by side, or was that Max van Laar? That was Max van Laar with a Oberlies. Nice side by side action there into turn 1 as they now head into the S section. And Oberlies. Actually, we've I'm surprised, but we do have quite a bit of Lamborghinis this season, which is interesting. So I'm sure once we get to the rain races, those guys will be cursing at themselves for picking the Lambo, but they're yeah, it's good to see some people representing it. It was like last season with the Honda. That was also very well represented, but is now the hype has kind of died down now for the Honda. And meanwhile here, looking back at the front, Christian Deploy really just having a good time here at the front. Almost 10 seconds ahead already, and we're only not even 20 minutes into the race, so gained more than a second a lap, almost, or half a second, sorry.
Yeah, he looks like he's in his comfort zone.
Yeah.
Just doing his laps.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily seem like he's pushing too hard here. He looks very comfortable, like you said, and yeah, all that battling behind him is just making it much easier for him.
Oh, Alvaro just lost it in turn 1. He had a bit of oversteer, lost 2 positions.
Right. So
3
here,
positions.
yeah, here's where it gets interesting now, because Alvarado has been leading that train since forever, and now we will see if any one of those guys stuck in that train can unleash their pace. Once again, ooh, bit of a tap there between Hawa and Alvarado. But let's see now if the Nacy can be the one to actually pull away. Hope he doesn't make any more mistakes and actually starts to maybe work his way back towards deploy, which will be a very long fight to get there.
Yeah, both Eddie and Domi both lost connection to the server on the formation lap. They both share the same internet connection because they're brothers. So.
Yeah, that's a shame. Domi is usually one of those dark horses that's really interesting to just check in once in a while in the race, where he's you know, gone from P20 all the way up to P8 for some weird reason with some pit stop magic or whatever he always does.
Yeah, he's always been pretty consistent in the pits.
Yeah, just I think I've said it before, but I think he's consistency-wise, he's really improved over the past couple of seasons. He's just that's what's, you know, getting in those consistent like top 10s. I think he's that these days, because he's so consistent. He rarely makes mistakes and just capitalizes on other driver errors. So yeah.
Yeah. Leishon's cruised up now to the back of the Lamborghini.
Yeah, Layson really making short work of the drivers in front of him, not wasting too much time, and well, obviously if he wants to get to the front, he has to get a move on, because, you know, getting stuck behind someone for a lap is 2 minutes lost, and
yeah, it's a great recovery so far. See how far he can get up the grid.
it should be good. It will be interesting to see, of course, if all of our drivers have practiced their pit stops, because as we know, a vital part of ACC is practicing your pit stops. You can easily lose, well, anywhere between 2 to 6, 7 seconds even if you get your pit stop wrong. Yeah, Layson doing a good job. I'm sure we'll check in with him a bit later again, as he actually runs a bit wide there. Want to take a look there again. Runs a bit deep, I want to say, into the hairpin, and might have tapped the board there as he went around. Let's take another look at that. And sorry for the little bit of the hang up here. So heading into the first Degna. Closes right up to the Boer. Actually, the Boer gets a better run towards the hairpin here, and let's see what happens during braking. So yeah, just Layson just a little bit deep on the brakes there and just taps the rear of the Boer. So a little bit of a mistake there from Layson, but we'll see what happens with that. But does mean he's up into 11th. Now we do see that train at the front is still somewhat of a thing. We do have the Nacy, who has about a 1 second gap to Justin behind him, and then another second to Hawa behind them. But still Alvarado and Ikonen right in the fight there, and yeah, a single mistake for these guys can mean that they lose a couple of spots here, so just gotta keep it together. 1 hour and 8 minutes to go, so still plenty of time. One of the drivers a bit further back here, Zampirescu, has he's putting on a bit of a drift show, I think. As he comes through that S section, he has Miguel Fonseca right behind him. And I think Zampirescu did change cars just before the event. So looks to be struggling a little bit, to say the least, up here in 26th position. Usually does manage to put his car up a bit further.
I think Deploy had a pretty bad lap last time around, 2:03.
Yeah, must have been
About
little bit of a
1.8
mistake.
seconds slower
Yeah.
than his best so far.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of the dangers when you're running all alone in front, that you might start to lose your concentration a little bit throughout, and small mistakes start to creep in. So you really mentally need to be prepared to be running on your own. But I'm sure Deploy didn't really go into this thinking that he would be pole position per se, and running away with it.
I mean, he's 5 temps down alone in the first sector. This is the tire wear, I believe.
Yeah, and I do think if I'm not mistaken, the Lexus is a bit worse, right, than on average than other cars on tire wear.
I think it does use the fronts a lot more. I would have thought the Aston would have been a lot better on its tires. So I wouldn't be surprised if they can start making their way back towards Deploy towards the end of the stint.
Yeah, at this rate, it definitely seems like that might be a possibility here. So as we can see, there was about 10 or so seconds between Deploy and the Nacy, and that gap is now starting to slowly come back down. But we'll see if the Nacy is actually up a 10th from his best lap, I believe. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the pace holds up here for these guys. Of course, as mentioned before, they can take their pit stop at any time, and both fuel and tires are optional, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, there's kind of 2 strategies you can do here: is not take tires and just splash and dash for fuel, or you can change tires and that'll be the 30 seconds. I don't believe the no tire strategy would work as a Suzuka, but you never know. You could try it and gain positions and try and hold station, but I think the advantage with new tires would be way too big.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things. Once those tires get over the hour mark, they really start to suffer. I still remember when me and Domi were doing those 12 hours of Bathurst, and we accidentally switched onto a wrong set that had already driven I don't know, 1 hour and 10, I believe. We switched onto that on Bathurst, which is also a really quite bad track on tires, or a track that's bad on tires, I should say. I think we were about 2 to 3 seconds down on our lap times when we went out on the used set on full fuel, so wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, the Astons are doing they're faster than their PBs at the moment.
Yeah, so the Astons does look like they're coming alive a bit at this point in the stint. Maybe slightly lower fuel load, and yeah, I assume for the Nacy, getting into that clean air is helping him a bit. Yeah, Howard.
He just Howard just made a mistake. He just went wide, just lost a position.
if I'm not mistaken as well, I think the Astons aren't the greatest on top speed compared to like your Mercedes and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a light downforcey car. It has kind of quite a high like turbo lag as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
But it
so
also has this weird trait where I think it's the anti-stall or traction control something kicks in like too early in the revs and it kind of gets stuck. So it's
okay.
really important to not hit those curves that upset the engine.
Right. Meanwhile, Joshua Layson here up to P11 now. Still working his way towards the front. Is I think marginally faster than 2 or 3 cars in front of him. So he's slowly working his way back, and with a bit more than an hour to go, he still has plenty of time to get inside that top 5, and maybe, well, who knows, maybe even a podium if he really works hard. Bit of a fight here as well, a bit further back between, well, Parnell is caught up to the back of Liam Anderson. Has the Boer behind him, then Thornton. A little bit of a train forming for them. And then a fight that's going on in front of those guys is Andrew Harvey and Thornton. Harvey there, holding on the inside through the hairpin as Thornton tried to pull a move there. Or I think that's Smith, actually. Not Smith, no. Who is that? McLaren. Oh, that must be Erdmann. That must be a lap car. Oh, E23 Lucius Oberlies has gotten a drive-through, and that is quite early into the race. So, for people that might not
That must be track limits.
Yeah, exactly. For people that might not be up to date with it, with Assetto Corsa Competizione and the penalties, drive-throughs are typically only given for track limits. So, probably cut or extended the track a bit too much, and that will have given him the drive-through, which at Suzuka is not something you want to have because it is one of those quite long pit lanes as well. And yeah, that is gonna see him drop back quite a bit here. Fortunate. But Peter Modernel here, heading down the straight with, I think, Max van Laar behind him that has had a really good run. Max van Laar moving to the inside here into turn 1, and Parnell is just gonna slot in behind. Doesn't seem to want to fight it too much. But Van Laar back up into 19th. Something to note here, I think Ryan Daniels and Huck, not sure if it's because of mistakes or if it's just a massive undercut they're trying to do here. But they've already went in for their mandatory pit stop. That must mean that they have loaded up their car once again, full with fuel. Maybe taking a fresh pair of tires. Not sure. We did. Huck might be one of those drivers that also had a little bit of a moment. I know Daniels had that spin off, so might have ruined his tires a little bit there. Jordan one sync now, under attack by Hurst as they run into 130R going into the braking zone. Surely.
That's Thomas on one sync.
Oh, yeah. Alright, Shane Thomas there. Oh, one sync with a mistake. And Thomas goes through there up into P9. Let's take a look there. Not quite sure. I think the curve might have just unsettled him a little bit there, and
yeah, it looks like the rear looks a little bit loose. I think he just turned in and it went.
Yeah, so that That Porsche not really doing what Wanzik wants it to do yet, I think. Let's see here. It goes into the chicane, into the braking, looks pretty decent there. Yeah, and
It's
just
a little bit offline.
yeah, just a bit offline, but even then there shouldn't be anything that really unsettles the car. Maybe he just went in slightly too fast, I'm guessing, and
Yeah, well, he was offline in the first part, and then I think he had a little bit of snap oversteer to the right, and then he corrected back to the left, and that swung too much. That's what it kind of looked like.
yeah, so as we head into the darkness here, we do see Jordan Wanzik not quite up to pace with the Porsche yet.
We've got Anderson with the fake Porsche challenging for P16. As he goes off, it takes that position.
Surely that's because of the skin I made that just scared the Lambo driver off. He wasn't sure if there was a Porsche or a McLaren behind him, and this was completely thrown off there.
Yeah, there's no other explanation for that.
Yeah, Liam Anderson slowly making his way up. Let's not forget he did start from the pits, so
Doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, has done a really good job making up that time.
Best was a 2017, so very comparable to the leader.
Yeah, and I do think we need to give him a bit more airtime just because I made this skin, right? Isn't that how it works?
Surprisingly, it looks really good on the McLaren. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I won't tell you how much time I spent on it, but let's say it was enough.
Too much.
Yeah, it was plenty to make it look somewhat like comparable to the Porsche's one. It's not only the livery in itself is simple, it's just the body paneling of the McLaren is so totally different to the Porsche that it's tricky, but I think it turned out quite well.
Yeah, looks really good. Still, the battle for P2 is pretty close.
Yeah, so Danesi initially got past Alvarado there. Alvarado now noticeably has dropped back to P7.
And P5 as well in the background. Those two are very close.
Yeah. Let's see here, Robbie Hawa actually got quite a bad run off of the hairpin there, I think. And Ruben van den Hudding chasing him down. So Ruben also made a little bit of a mistake earlier, trying to make up ground again. As they head onto the back straight. A little bit of a moment there for Van den Hudding, but still gets a good run here in the slipstream. Might see him try a move here up into that big braking zone to the chicane. Let's see if he can get a good run here. Ooh, goes slightly wide, does carry a bit of overspeed. Let's see. Nope, brakes early. So, I mean, all he needs is, there we go, a good run through that chicane, and I would think the Ferrari is pretty good on acceleration. So if you can just get a good run off of a turn, then should be done and dusted. But so far, Hawa, sorry. Hawa doing a very good job at holding on to that P5. But Van den Hudding still hounding him.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, I think.
Oh, Van den Hudding there. Big oversteer moment. Really pushing, seems like. But yeah, you're thinking here that Van den Hudding is gonna try and make this move soon here, because at this point I think he's just losing time now. And quite a bit.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a lot of pace.
Let's see here, maybe into the hairpin. Nope. Not quite. Does get a better run through there, I think. Hawa creates just enough distance there.
Yeah, just got to keep the pressure on. Hopefully force him into mistake. Harding has got a better exit though.
So it will be interesting to see here as he does close up, and now is he gonna try it into 130R? Not gonna be.
Not close enough.
And
oh, power has gone wide. Can he go around the outside?
Into the chicane. Ooh, this is tight. Oh, just squeezes through there.
Oh, great racing.
Still side by side there as they head onto the start finish straight. Let's see here.
Drag race now.
Run. Yeah, that Ferrari does seem to have a little bit more speed than the Aston, but not much.
Not enough.
And this will be tough for ooh,
oh no!
There's a touch. And we got that perfectly in frame there, but oh man, that was
that was a shame.
A shame, and it was, well, it was nothing more than just a slight tap of the doors that caused that, so nothing malicious there, I think, but just a bit unfortunate. Let's see if we can take another look at that one. Let's see here. I'm sure the replay will catch up just in a moment here. There we go. And heading into turn one. Yeah, it's one of those things how I just...
Yeah, it looked like he
wide and
understeered a little bit too wide.
Yeah. So it just took a bit too much speed, not accounting enough for the car next to him, I guess. And just takes a little bit too much speed, in which results in him Eppen van den Hudding off the course. So Van den Hudding down to P8, and has lost quite a bit of time there. But again, someone to keep an eye on. Joshua Layson up into 10th now, and right behind Shane Thomas.
Yeah, both of these Ferraris have been up there and fallen back somewhat.
Yeah, it does seem they struggle a little bit with stability. Might be a setup thing, but
Hurst lost it in 130R.
Slides across the track there. That could have been really bad. Let's get his car going again.
Oh, Hudden's in the pits. First of the pit stoppers, I believe. Oh, there's someone in front of him as well. Not sure who that is.
That is gonna be Jaakko Ikonen.
Oh, there's a few cars in the pits, is there?
I think there might be retirements in the pit as
well. Okay.
Maybe. Let's see. Hurst is in the pit now, yeah. But yeah, Van den Hudding coming in, and then Ikonen as well.
Yeah, I believe some of these spins might have caused flat spots on the tyres, so I think it's best to get in, get a new set of boots on. Yeah, try and do an undercut, just get into your rhythm, and hopefully be able to jump a few cars.
Exactly. That's what what's Van den Hudding is probably thinking. He's you know, he's been stuck behind some guys and then had a couple of incidents, and maybe he's just thinking, what if I just come in, strap on a fresh set of rubbers, and just try to run my race on my own pace, maybe have a bit of clean air once he gets his pit stop done, and try to jump him with the pit stop. And that the Christian Deploy still running deep into to his stint here. Has been on these tires for well, 40 minutes. Sorry, not that deep into the stint. Let's be interesting to see how long he goes here.
I mean, we're coming into the pit window now. Like 45 minutes is halfway point. That's kind of when you would expect some pit stops to happen.
Exactly. One thing to note here, Jaakko Ikonen just exited the pit. Must have sped into the pit because he got a stop and go 30 seconds there, so that is quite detrimental for Ikonen. Gonna see him lose a lot of time. That's probably about a 50 to 60 second time loss there for Ikonen, which is a real shame for him because he was doing really well, actually leading the AM field. But yeah, that'll push him back quite a bit. As more and more of our drivers are streaming into the pit, one of those being Joshua Layson, I assume he's ready to get rid of those tires as well, since they've seen a bit of action. Everything is jumbled up a little bit here now because more and more cars coming into the pit, and this is just shuffling up the grid a little bit, creating gaps everywhere. But look at that now. It does look like Deploy is starting to lose a significant amount of time. Last lap, almost a 2 minutes 4 seconds there, so almost 2.5 seconds down on his best lap. Surely you'd think he'd come into the pit sooner rather than later, as he's also 2.3 seconds down now on this lap. So yeah, he's starting to lose out quite a bit of time compared to the guys behind him. Second slower per lap. And yeah, at this point where he really needs to consider coming in, because he'll just be losing more and more time. The mid-pack, everything is kind of settling down. There is still some packs, but they've spread out a little bit as well.
Yeah, if I was Denasi right now, I'd be looking at trying to do the undercut now. Times are starting to come down, or the gaps coming down, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. You'd think surely that at this point it's kind of an optimal time to get into the track. You know, you're gonna have the fully rubbered in track together with the fact that you're gonna be running a lower fuel load and have that fresh pair of boots on. So
Yeah, and Justin as well. He's been stuck behind Denasi as well. If he wanted to try and jump here, maybe doing the undercut as well.
yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting. So we are almost exactly halfway. So I'm guessing this will be the mark for a lot of drivers here to come in. But it could be here. I'm thinking that Denasi and Dijkstra are kind of playing mind games with each other here and seeing, you know, just being reactive to each other in terms of pitting. But yeah, you do see now that everyone that hasn't pitted yet is down on their relatives. And to be fair, Denasi has kept it quite consistent over his stint, as he'll keep going, and so will Dijkstra. But you can already see that Joshua Layson on his first lap here, after he got his fresh pair, is already up 2/10, about halfway through the lap. So I think if these guys in front of him don't pick quickly, we'll see Layson popping up somewhere quite near to the top 5.
Yeah, he's nearly 5 temps up now on his best lap.
So yeah, now more people coming in. Shane Thomas, Hila, and OneSync all in the pits. And same here for Ruben van den Hudding, has also pitted and is almost a second up. Both Van den Hudding and Layson both almost a second up on their time. So
yeah, undercut is very powerful here.
yeah, so definitely the right decision for them, and this might just give them the edge here to jump that opponent that they were behind. See here as Josh is gonna come in, or he's gonna come across the line here. He's gonna overtake quite a bit of cars, I think. We'll see where that puts him. But of course, still quite a bit of people there to that need to pit inside that top 10, surprisingly.
Oh, Shane's just come out of the pits, I believe. Sean's right on his tail.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Got the
there we
job
go.
done.
Yep, cold tires for Shane Thomas there, and yeah, he's not going to be able to keep up here, I think, with Layson.
Oh, there's a back marker that's off the road. He gets out the way. Very nicely done.
Yeah. So yeah, on cold tires, and Layson, well, does show that he has a bit more pace than the guys he was around after that initial incident. Now, instantly gapping Thomas there, so same for Van den Hudding.
Oh, Deploy and Dijkstra both in the pits now. That's a very good move for them, I believe.
Yes, so
Alan is still out.
it will be interesting to see here what Deploy, because I believe he's actually lost quite a bit of time here. Surely you'd think now Danesi and the likes of Hawa are also going to pit this coming lap here. Because I think if you wait any longer, you're just losing time. There's nothing beneficial anymore of
Yeah.
not pitting now, I think.
Oh yeah, I made a mistake. Alan stayed out. Deploy is pitted. Yeah. Yeah, I believe Alan is going to lose out here then.
Yeah, let's see. So Alan currently in P1, at least technically, but he is.
He might be trying something different.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I did notice he was running, well, consistently running faster than Deploy, but yeah, like I said, if he doesn't pit now, he is just losing time, and hopefully he will recognize that himself. As once again he runs down the back straight into 130R. We're in for some serious night racing now. It's not completely dark yet, but actually it is, I think, but it's just a very bright night sky. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's 8 PM in game time, so yeah, I think the sun is pretty much all gone now.
Yeah, I think it's just a very, very bright night, what it looks like.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of track lights actually as well, so
yeah, that helps a lot. But yeah, the Nacy's still staying out. Again, I don't think it's the best choice, but maybe he has something up his sleeve. We will see.
yeah, Nessie's going to be trying the splash and dash strategy, but it's usually not the fastest way, but he's got nothing to lose really if he wants to go for the win, and he can try something different.
Exactly. Ryan Daniels here in P12, fighting with Masichila. And the Bentley not the strongest on the straights. And Hila here getting a very good run, I think, out of the spoon curve.
Yeah, Anderson's also coming to the pits.
He's gonna pull alongside here in 130R. Oh, let's see, side by side. Yeah, around the outside. That's a very difficult move to pull there. Maybe should have just timed it so that he was able to try that move just before the chicane there into the braking zone. I mean, I think if we think of Suzuka, that after 130R, that big braking zone is probably the best overtaking possibility, together with going into turn 1.
Yeah, look at that Honda power. It's very good BAP at Suzuka.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, but the Bentley he goes around the outside, keeps the position.
Yeah, of course, the Bentley very stable through corners, and just sticks it around the outside with ease there. Honda struggling a bit more, but this fight isn't over yet. So interesting to see now, outside of the top 3, nearly everyone has come in for their pit stop. Oh, Ryan Daniels runs a bit wide there.
Or
Again,
over Degna 1.
yep, Degna 1 again. We see
Oh, he's all over the place.
a lot of drivers make that mistake, and
Yeah.
has basically just forfeited his
Yeah.
position to Hila there.
That was probably the right thing to do.
Yeah,
Just get off track and rejoin safely.
exactly. We wouldn't want to see him try to block or anything into the next turn. Just be sensible and, well, if you can, try to get back that position on pace.
Tell you who else is flying is Thomas, 1.3 seconds up on his best lap right now.
Yep, so those new tires really breathing some new life into the race here. Some guys are setting their personal bests now. Interesting fight here as well between Justin Dijkstra and Ruben van den Hudding. They're fighting over what I would say is probably a net P2 here. If we take the pit stops that still need to happen into account. But Dijkstra just a bit wide there into turn 1. Allows van den Hudding to close right back up.
Yep, still surprised. Denesi and Howard still out as well. They must be on a different strategy this far into the race.
Yeah, I do see that they've managed to keep their pace quite consistently. I think the most they've lost is only about half a second, maybe a bit more on their pace. But I mean, surely if they come in, they're just gonna be straight up about a second faster at least on those new tires. So yeah, we will see. Anyway, it is a different strategy. Maybe they're just hoping for deploy and such to be stuck in traffic, maybe battling with each other, which is happening, of course. So except for deploy, he is actually running in clean air. So
although Denesi's best lap is quite a lot slower than some of the cars around him, a 2-minute 2, but his last lap was a 2-minute 3, so he is still doing very close to his PBs. Very consistent.
yeah, exactly. So he is, if we take a look here, Denesi, he is coming up on traffic as well. Lambo here, I'm not quite sure who that was, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. It's definitely interesting to see an alternate strategy here. And the other driver as well, Nicolas Alvarado, is just seems to be kind of following Denesi's and Howard's philosophy in terms of strategy. But again, back to Justin Dijkstra, Ruben van den Hudding now on the start-finish straight side by side, I think. Justin Dijkstra can just edge ahead here as he'll take the inside into turn 1. Does have to compromise his line a bit, which will give Van den Hudding a better exit there, but Van den Hudding with a slap of oversteer there as they head into the S's. I don't know if it's a setup thing, but Van den Hudding really struggling with the rear as well, I think, today. And really wrestling that Ferrari around. And like I mentioned before here, look at where Josh Layston is there. He's worked his way up to P7 now. Definitely benefited from that undercut.
Oh, Pani spun in the, believe it's the final chicane? Yep, it was. Not sure how that happened.
Let's see quickly here if we can get a replay of it. And sorry for the little bit of delay on the replay. Be right up there. There we go. So, take a look here. Peter Parnell heading into 130R. Oh, just okay.
Oh.
Interesting line through 130R, but manages to keep it together. And then
That's the Bentley.
yeah,
Oh,
just
deep.
just carries a bit too much speed there into the chicane, I think. But yeah, interesting to see that the Bentley can also be used as a lawnmower at the same time and still be fine. Alright, but Peter Parnell now trying to work his way back. He's still in P20 here. Let's see here. Ganesi Hawa still not in the pits. But again, not losing too much pace. But yeah, I still think that new tire set would have done him wonders. One sync now has gotten a bit more stable, I guess, in terms of lapping. He's 10th position there, so just inside the top 10, but Ryan Daniels is right behind him. And that Ryan is lapping a bit slower than one sync though, so nothing much going on there. While the race is kind of settling now, let's also take a bit of a look further back, you know, give some of the guys at the back a bit more credit. They're in the same race, and they put a lot of effort in here. And obviously, some of these guys are fighting for different championships, so do remember we have the Pro Championship, the Silver Championship, and the AM Championship, so you can see those are divided up by the colors of their driver number plate, or whatever I should call it. So white stands for Pro, the gray silver-ish stands for Silver, of course, and then the red stands for AM. So yeah, Stempel in the Pro class right now, but not having the best of times here, being the last Pro. In the meanwhile, we will look at Jesse Smith, who is, I think, the front runner here in the AM field. So really, really nicely done here, just outside of the top 10, running in 12th. But yeah, just doing a real good job overall. Runs a bit wide there into T1. Here I know Oberle's here as well in the Lamborghini, just hanging in there. Then, yeah, once again, bit of a shame here for Jaakko Ikonen. I think it was his first race for us, and got that stop and go, so that really ruined his chances getting that that top spot in the AM class. But still putting in good pace here, trying to work his way back up to the front. Mark de Boer here also doing pretty well. 4th in the AM class, 16th overall. In the Lambo, which is a very tricky car.
Yeah, with 29 minutes to go, everyone's kind of a little bit spread out now. The closest there's Van der Hudding on Dijkstra as well, 7 tenths behind. That's the closest battle on track at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just waiting for that moment until we find out that the Nacy and Hawa have like switched down the engine modes completely or something.
Yeah,
or just like
mastermind.
Yeah, or just like trying to get it to the end or something.
Right, is that 44 seconds behind P1? I'm not sure if this is correct.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines, actually about 55 seconds between them, I believe.
So depending on how much fuel they need to take, I mean, they might as well not take tyres now because they will come up behind.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm gonna follow Christian Deploy around here. But yeah, I mean, with how far they've gotten, I think their strategy is to just splash and dash. I think that's going to be the thing here. It's going to be a very short stop for them. But let's see here, as Christian Deploy comes through the last chicane, I will be able to tell you exactly here as he runs over the finish line how far Danesi is ahead. Across the line here. Yeah, so about 52, 53 seconds or so.
Yeah,
for
Danesi's still doing PBs, or close to his PBs.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's insane.
regardless, that's going to be very close, I think. In terms of if he only has to do a splash, then I think it'll be very close on the pit stop. But obviously, Deploy will have a massive advantage tire-wise.
Yeah.
Once they come out, because well, it would be silly now if they did take tires in the end. I don't
Yeah.
think that's
I
the
mean, it
plan.
depends. Deploy might have like used up all of his tires in trying to push to catch back up. It seems that the Lexus does eat its tires a lot quicker than the Aston is in this race, at least.
Yeah, we did see that his pace completely dropped off after about 30 minutes or so. He really started to drop off on time while the Astons were still running, pretty similar laps. And even now,
Yeah, he's still doing like near identical to his PB.
yeah,
Low
so like
202s.
an hour and 5 minutes into their stint, they're still doing the same time. So
That's
yeah,
very impressive.
yeah. That's why we might have seen them drop off a little bit earlier on, maybe just saving the tires a little bit. Maybe a very deliberate choice here by the AOSP guys, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna grab a quick drink as Christian Deploy comes through the chicane here. I'll give you an onboard lap here while I get beverage. You can just enjoy the onboard for a little while. Alright, as we come back here.
That was quite close. There was a spun BMW.
Yeah, I just
in the
saw
final
that.
corner. Deploy managed to avoid. Luckily, saw it come in.
A bit of a butt clenching moment there as that BMW started rolling backwards, but Fortunately, nothing happened there. And well, 23 minutes ago, and we're still waiting for the top three to make their pit stop.
Yeah, Deploy's last lap was a 2:02.3, and that's exactly the same as pretty much what Denasi is doing at the moment. So I don't have a clue how he's managed to get that Aston so good on its tyres.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you know, Denasi and Hawa have been with us for a long time, so we know their experience.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, maybe this was just, I assume this was a well thought out strategy here, because it really is working for them at the moment.
Yep, with 22 minutes left to go of the race, we still have the top three yet to pit.
Yeah, and it does seem, well, Nicholas Alvarado is going for that same strategy, so he, surely he's just copying the guys in front of him, but yeah, all doing pretty well on their tires. And I'm here on the cameras looking at Joshua Layson, who is very, very slowly making his way up to Ruben van den Hudding.
Yeah, great recovery so far.
Yeah,
after spinning at the first lap.
Yeah, so Layson, really good recovery. Same with Van den Hudding. He's strapped that new set of tires on and I think feeling a lot more comfortable with them. The lighter fuel load will definitely help for the mid-engine cars as well. But yeah, for the rest, the battles have somewhat petered out. See here, we do have Miguel Fonseca and Hill here at the back. Oh, with one sync, a slight tap to Fonseca there. They're still fine. And something I didn't quite catch onto is that Matt Liam Anderson has been in the pits for 8 or so minutes. So not sure what has happened. All I'll say is that that is a disgrace in terms of the fact that he's using my skin, so at least he could have the respect of racing out the race, but you know, we'll excuse it this time. But yeah, maybe a bit of a mechanical failure, maybe some kind of emergency situation in real life for Liam, which made him stay in the pits. Yeah, I'm sure he'll give us an update after the race. Yeah, let's just take a look here back at the front with the Nacy and Hawa and Alvarado as they're still going around. I mean, at this rate, I know they still have a mandatory pit stop to do, but at this rate, it just feels like they're not going to stop. They're just going to run to the end.
Well, there is one mandatory pit stop, so they have to pit at least one. Maybe they're gonna like stop and go, but I don't think there's any way possible for them to go to the end without refueling.
Yeah, where was it again? It was one of those, wasn't it in F1 where that happened in like the 80s or the 90s, where I think someone got like a drive-through penalty or something, and they like served it on the last lap by literally the last lap going into the pit and rolling over the line.
Yeah, that's cheating.
But yeah, I think at that time there wasn't anything like particular in the rules that said you couldn't do that. But I'm sure they changed it right after. I don't quite remember which race it was, but I saw a video on it, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Denasi comfortably at the front, still doesn't come in. So, yeah. Interesting. But a little bit of a battle going on here. Pettit versus Ikonen. Again, Pettit does seem to give up the position there, but Ikonen was the driver that got the stop and go penalty. So has worked his way back up into 17th and now 5th in the M class. Oh yeah, not the ideal debut for Ikonen, but definitely not a bad one either. Because I'm sure he would have loved to see himself be up inside the top 10 there. And then again, a little bit of a battle going on here. Further towards the back, 24th and 25th, Hill and Zamfirescu going at it. Zamfirescu, that BMW that had a bit of a moment there at the start-finish straight. Running that black, white, and livery there as Hill pulls alongside of him into the chicane, very close. And he is gonna keep it there. And he does manage to get past there as Zamfirescu squeezed him very tight there, but Hill just said, I'm not taking it, and he just hopped across the curb there and actually took the position, so very well done from him. Ooh, big moment there again from Zamfirescu. Again, doesn't seem like Zamfirescu having the best time there in his BMW. And it was a late car switch. Oh, and he's gonna lose it again there. As that McLaren is coming through, so it does seem that Zamfirescu is really struggling on those tires now. And, I mean, we've seen a couple of slides from him. So those tires are gonna be in a bad shape. Okay, something's happening. Nicholas Alvarado came into the pits, finally.
Finally, with 50 minutes to go.
Yeah, so let's see what happens here, how long he actually spends in the pit. So yeah, very, very quick splash and dash there.
Nice.
And yeah, we do see Christian deploy
Oh, it's very
there.
close.
Yeah, coming out. Just...
I think the boy should have this.
Yeah, so just in front there, and Justin Dijkstra now. Yeah, so Alvarado.
But for Hauer and Denasi, I think they might have a good chance here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close with Hawa, but Denasi definitely has done a successful overcut, I think, on Deploy here. With how little time that Alvarado actually spent in the pit there, I actually think Denasi might have pulled this off. And if he's done that, that's actually, I don't know, that's masterclass then.
Yeah, very impressive, especially at Suzuka, where I know the track is so abrasive, the tire wear so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep your pace so consistent for, you know, nearly an hour and a half. Insane.
Yeah, so let's take a look here, because that, I mean, Alvarado coming in here might have been the cue that these guys are also going to come in one of these laps here.
Yeah, Denasi in.
Yeah, Denasi in. So this is where it comes down to. We're going to follow Deploy around, but I mean, to me, it seems that they got room to spare here.
That pit entry was on the limit.
Let's hope nothing pops up for him after he comes out, but let's see here. So Deploy only now onto the back straight, heading towards 130R.
Hauer in as well. They're both the leading two Astons. So
Denasi still stationary. Let's see, ooh, this is taking quite a bit. Might have messed up the pit stop a little bit there. Deploy now coming up to the chicane. Denasi is moving again. As Deploy comes through the pit there to the chicane, sorry.
Did he take tires?
Not sure, no, I don't think so. He's out now. Denasi is out.
Yeah,
he's
done it.
Yeah, he successfully managed the overcut. Very well done there from Denasi. And Hawa is going to come out right behind Deploy there. Well, a couple of seconds, but So very interesting now. Only about what is that? Maybe 5 or so seconds between Denacy and Duploy.
That's 3.4, I think, after the first few corners. It's very close. Is there enough tyre life in that Aston to get it to the end and beat Deploy?
Yeah, so 12 minutes ago, about 6 more laps once they complete this one. But man, I still can't believe how successful that that overcut was for those guys.
I mean, yeah, he was 10 seconds down at the start of the first half of the race,
Yeah, something like that.
and he's managed to overcut ahead of him. Insane.
But yeah, of course, now will be the question. Of course, he hasn't had to put that much fuel in, only a couple of laps here, so it's not like he's carrying a load of fuel around, but still you must
I think these 12 minutes are going to feel like a lifetime now.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll see here how Denacy holds up, but I think he's gonna have to put up a stern defense here. He wants to hold on.
Yeah, you can see how close they are. You can see him in the background.
Quickly switching over to a little battle happening here as my steam pops up there. Sorry for that. And Shane Thomas now has Masic Hila. So Hila actually in the Honda has been slowly working his way up to further up towards the front. So very well done from him. They now head into 130R. You can just see that Honda has quite a bit more speed, but runs wide there. See if he tries anything into the braking. Nope. But does Thomas does alter his line a little bit in there, but not close enough. And of course, the Honda doesn't have a great initial power delivery, as that turbo has to split. Yeah, Masic here looking very strong. And, well, that gap is coming down quickly here between Denacy and Duploy.
Yeah, it's hovering around 2 seconds now. Denacy's up to speed. Don't know if Deploy has the life in the tyres to put up an attack here.
And that's one of those things with that mandatory pit stop that's meant to somewhat balance out the, you know, give a lot of cars still some room to work with in terms of strategy, but at least make them come in. But you know, else I would have no doubt in my mind that those Astons would have ran to the end quite easily. They maybe saved some fuel.
Yeah, and Denacy's still like doing PBs at the moment. He's up on his time, so that's very impressive. I'm starting to think, did he actually change tyres? I don't think it was long enough, right? 30 seconds? It wasn't 30 seconds, was it?
No, I don't think it was. Well,
He's 3 tenths up on his best lap. Well, now it's come
yeah.
down a bit, but
I'm not sure. But I'm sure if he took new tires, I'm sure we would have seen his time shoot down. You know, like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It would have probably been like a second difference at least, because you know such a low fuel load and then those fresh tires.
Yeah, it should be quali pace.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I think he just managed them really well. I'm sure if he comes in for an interview after, we can ask him there. But
yeah,
you know, the race is not over yet.
Yeah, I think he's got the pace in that car to hold on to the win here. As long as you don't make any mistakes, he should have this.
Exactly, and I'm thinking even if Deploy manages to get, let's say, within a second, that's where the dirty air starts to hit you.
Yeah.
And that's gonna make it very tough on Deploy, who's also not exactly doing too well on his tires, it seems.
No, it's one thing to catch someone, and then it's another to actually pass. So
exactly. So might have missed something here, but Joshua Layson is in 24th. So he must have had a stop and go or something, or this is strange.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
Not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, it's dropped all the way down because he was in P7, so not quite sure what happened to him.
Well, deploy is pushing. I think both of these guys really want the win.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those rare cases, and this is definitely not to take away of any other drivers, but we are missing a couple of the fastest drivers, so you know, if any chance they get at taking a win, that today is going to be the day, you know, with yourself not competing, with Vincent not being there.
Yeah.
For these guys, this is that moment where they can get away with the win. So yeah, they're both very much pushing for it. And well, Deploy is closing up. He's got the gap down to about 1.2 seconds. And I mean, both of these guys will be really hungry for the win, that's for sure.
I've just got the word Anderson. He came in for new tyres and didn't count for the new grip that they would give. Hit the curb on the inside of 130R and spun. That's why he retired.
Oh, what a shame. Well, I think the agreement we made is that if he didn't get a top 10, or was that a top 5, that he had to give delivery back. So yeah.
I don't think that's going to be possible. You might have to fight him for it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some
Hand-to-hand
traffic.
combat.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're both because was compromised by that in the spoon curve.
Yeah, I think Benassi still managed to get a decent exit there, so I think Deploy was actually compromised a bit more there. But in the end, it's only about a tenth or two, so ooh.
Oh, there's a spun.
There, yep. 5 minutes to go. 3 laps remaining here once Benassi crosses the line.
Yeah, hovering around a second now.
Ooh, and this is getting into crunch town now. Deploy really has to push hard here to even try and get a shot at trying an overtake at Benassi.
Yeah, Benassi just needs to keep a cool head.
Yeah, just looking at the onboard, you can see that Deploy is just trying to push as hard as he can.
Yeah, just use the tyres up. You've got nothing to lose now. Let's maximum pace. I would be surprised if he's complaining to Bono about his tyres.
Yeah, exactly. The only difference being that he actually has a reason to complain about his tires, probably.
Yeah.
And some other drivers don't. Wink, wink. Yeah, he's just pushing hard, and well, Benassi, I assume, is doing the same. Yeah, that gap. Oh, I don't know, actually.
Fight for P4 as well. 3 cars involved in that. Little train going on.
Yeah, so that's one we keep an eye on as well. But actually, Benassi here again up on his time, so he might set a personal best here.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
He's actually pulled a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, ooh, it almost seems like Deploy's tires are starting to degrade quite a bit here now, and he's struggling to maintain his pace. But yeah, fight in P4 here. Justin Dijkstra right behind Nicholas Alvarado, with behind them Ruben van den Hudding.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, Yeah, going very deep in. Oh, Justin Dijkstra compromised his run out of the chicane, and Ruben van den Hitting pulls alongside, but can't manage around the outside, but he's gonna hold it there, I think.
Oh, there's a little tap.
Oh, little tap there, yeah. With 2 laps to go here, guys are fighting for a P4 at most, with Robbie Hawa edging just ahead there. I think Hawa will just be running his race out, not pushing too much, trying to secure that podium.
That Ferrari is very loose on power. We see it like sliding a lot of times.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. You can just see it like mid-corner, it's just squirreling through there. And,
Getting on the power, it's drifting on the exits all the time.
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of PC setting Van den Hitting is running, but it doesn't seem to be high anyway. He's wrestling.
He's running 5 and 5. That's
okay.
quite high, but I do know that the new Ferrari Evo is got more torque and.
Oh, bit of a tap there.
Oh. Yeah, I do know that the new Ferrari Evo has a more aggressive engine map, more torque, so putting the power down is a lot more responsive.
Right.
But maybe his setup is not.
Ooh, a bit wide there.
Not set up for his driving style. He likes to start the throttle down pretty aggressively.
Exactly, yeah, he does. As we come to the close here of the race, he is definitely struggling with those tires at the back, it seems. But then again, he just, in a couple of corners, he catches so, like, he gets so much time back on Justin Dijkstra. But again, it's maybe once he gets inside that dirty air that the car might become a little bit unstable.
Yeah. And AC's on the final lap, so this is the final lap of the race now.
I mean, at this point, I'm like, still has about a 1.5 second gap, so
yeah,
doesn't have to push overly much. But will we see Alan Serafini Danesi's first win here in the PCDC ACC League? That is the question. It is certainly looking like it. As he heads into the hairpin one last time. Again, just consistently running the same pace there, and it does seem like in this this closing stint here, he's just managed to get a little bit extra out of the car and out of his tires. So yeah,
2 very different strategies, 90 minutes and the top 2 covered by like 1.5 seconds, so Danesi has not had the fastest car, but he's made it work for him.
Yeah, one last time down to 130R, that fast left-hander where all the downforce elements have to work. Comes through here, surely he's not going to take any risk into the chicane. Take it easy through there. We got this. As he heads down through the last corner, Alan Serafini Danesi is going to get his first win here for the PCDC ACC League, and I'm sure he is absolutely delighted with that one. Christian Deploy in second, very well done as well. And Robbie Hawa in third. So both of the AOSP guys onto the podium as Alvarado, Dijkstra, and Van den Hitting in that order.
Very close.
Run down to the line. Then Hila with Shane Thomas right behind them. 7th and 8th.
I think Isla must have got past him at some point. We missed that.
Yeah. Jordan Wansink here in 9th, so hasn't had the greatest of drives, with a couple of big moments and half spin here and there, but still manages to put it up into P9. And Ryan Daniels here heading down to 130R just a nothing much to mention here, I think. Nice top 10 finish. Very well done. As he heads through that last corner as well. Top 10 finish for Ryan Daniels. And the next car up, Anthony Hurst. And behind there, Chris Thornton with Mark de Boer actually right behind him as they run down to the line, and Jaco Ikonen 12th, 13th, and 14th. And we have the likes of Jesse Smith and Andrew Harvey right behind him. Actually, towards the end here, we've had a lot more close finishers than I thought. Quite a couple of cars close together here. Andrew Harvey 15th, Brian Pettit in 16th, Peter Parnell in 17th. Kind of a quiet race for him, I think. Camille Stempel with his first race, I believe, 18th. And that has made everyone finish here today. So that being said, let's see if we can get Denasi into the box here, because I'm sure he's absolutely delighted. If we can actually get him in here.
Maybe we could grab Deploy. He's in the social for the moment.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna try and get.
yeah, I contacted Denasi, so let's get Deploy in here. How it went for him. Hello, Christian, are you here?
Hey, yeah, yes, hello.
Hello. So, well, very tight race at the end there. We didn't think after 90 minutes it would have been so close. How did you feel it went?
Not great. I thought I would win, actually. I didn't think the tires would hold up that well. But yeah, congrats to them. Oh well, to, I don't know his name actually. But yeah, no, my tires died after 40 minutes, so there was no way anything else I could do.
Yeah, we were looking at it. We were thinking that the Lexus was doing quite poorly on the tires, but I mean, regardless, P2, so you must be pleased with that one.
Yeah, well, this was an opportunity to get P1 without people like Marcus and Orensman and everyone like that. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, but still happy.
All right. Well, anyway, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week, maybe.
Yeah,
for the
congratulations, man.
Thank you guys. Thanks for the streaming and everything.
No problem. So I've gotten word back from Denasi, and he says his English is really bad.
It doesn't matter.
He can't take it. I was trying to say it as well, but unfortunately he isn't in one of the voice channels, so I can't pull him in either forcefully. So yeah. But yeah, great win by Alan today, and that strategy was just one of the best strategies I think I've seen so far.
Yeah.
In one of our races.
That was impressive.
Let's see, is there anyone else we could pull in?
Maybe Dijkstra. He was in the battle pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, actually, let's see how that went. Hello, Justin.
Hello.
Are you here? Hello.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so well, you guys had a good battle going on there throughout the race, I think.
Yeah, it was. Oh, I'm sweating so much. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I actually started practicing like yesterday, so yeah, I was on the pace relatively quickly, but I'm very happy that I didn't crash. I made 2 little mistakes, but it only cost me like 2 seconds. So very happy with the consistency, and the racing was just top notch. With these guys, they respect you and you respect them, so there's barely any contact. So yeah, it was an amazing race.
Yeah, incident-wise, I don't think we actually saw hardly any. A lot of the mistakes were, well, a lot of the incidents were just driver mistakes, losing it by themselves.
Yeah.
There was a lot of respect out there today.
Yeah, I lost it once on Degna 1, what I struggled with like the last 2 days. So tiny little bit of a mistake, getting too much curb, bottoming out the car, but it was all good. And once after the hairpin, when you go right, if you stay too much on the right, the car bottoms out as well. So yeah, little mistakes, and that allowed Ruben van der Hudding to catch up to me. And yeah, we had a battle till the end, but I think I got new tires and he didn't. So yeah, that was basically my only thing. Yeah, that saved me the whole race because he was fast.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it looked good once again, and you've only been moved up to the Pro Am or Silver this season, and again, you're consistently up there, so looking really good for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to improve every time I can, especially be more consistent, don't cause any crashes. And I think today that was, yeah, I mean, could have gotten a little better, but it's all I could hope for, really.
Yeah, exactly. Very well done. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you for next week for the GT4s, or
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
cool. See you then.
See ya.
All right. With that being said, I think we've come to nearly the end of our stream here. I do want to thank some of our partners, being Grid Finder. You can use Grid Finder if you just Google gridfinder.com for to find any type of league you're looking for on any platform. Preferably, you would use it, of course, to sign up to PCDC. And you can find us at pcdc.simstrata.com. Simstrata being also one of our partners, they take care of the website and the servers. So thank you to them as well. And with that being said, again, a really great race today, a lot more closely matched than I would have thought after 90 minutes. Well, a great strategy from the AOSP guys to get a double podium there and a win. And yeah, with that everything being said there, thank you for joining the stream, and thank you as well, Marcus, for being here.
Yeah, no problem. I actually quite enjoyed it from driving from a change.
Yeah, it was really definitely really good to have someone here with a long race going on like this. And
Yep.
again, I've been Stanislav Mail, Marcus Lawrence with me, and wish you a goodbye.